It's the naked truth. Raw and uncensored adult chat with the stars of Just for Fans as we get personal. Bedroom stories, sex tips, and more. Close the door, turn down the lights, and turn up the volume. It's time for the naked truth. And jazz hands!
Jazz hands aplenty. Hello, Just for Fanners. My mom gets mad at me for constantly dating broke men.
No.
But how do I tell her that rich guys are just lazy in bed and the poor ones are fucking you like they need a place to stay? Because they do.
He starts off with a joke in case you haven't noticed.
This is not a joke. This is my life. And on that note, this is The Naked Truth, the official Just for Fans podcast where nothing is off limits except my original hair color. Bloop. On this episode, we go deep and we get down with our popular names and body parts from Just for Fans family. Adam Russo and Jack Andy are here, ready to mix things up and spill the tea. I'm your host, Alexander Rodriguez, queen of the podcast, with my sidekick, director of events for Just for Fans, Mr. Anthony John Hager.
Hey, girl, I still have a job.
Yes, well, you do, and you are working hard. Hey, have you heard about that new gay sitcom?
No, I haven't.
It's called Leave It, It's Beaver. Hello to our audience on every major podcasting platform. You can also watch us on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV on the outat.tv app. And we are charting around the globe, literally. So thank you to our listeners. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at JustForFansite. And whether you are a content creator or a fan, sign up for free at JustFor.Fans. The award-winning adult fan side. All right, let's formally introduce our guest. Let's get going. Adam Russo has been in the adult industry for well over a decade. He has worked for many different studios during the course of his career. When Just for Fans came about, he saw an opportunity to move away from old platforms of adult entertainment and to embrace the new. He's also a mainstream actor, having done commercials and shorts. He is currently writing a TV script on his life as an adult entertainer. I'm going to audition for the film. I'm going to be like, "Hi, I'm Adam Russo. Please welcome Adam Russo."
Dark.
Oh, boy.
And also joining us today, Jack Andy has been in the business for 5 years now. Missouri raised, starting off in webcam entertainment for various companies and moved into the porn industry shortly after working with studios like Falcon, Gay Room, and Lucas Entertainment. He's also a fitness trainer, president of J. Andy Fitness, and fitness obviously is his passion. We like to welcome Jack on, then Jack off. Please welcome Jack Andy.
Woo! Look at them toes. Look at them piggies. Shrimping. Someone's shrimping.
Look at those toes.
They don't look like that now. Butter. I want some drawn butter.
All right, so we start the show with a little hot topic. This is our hot topic for today. You are in an open relationship as a couple and very much into threesomes. A threesome you invite over, has a great time, texts you later and says, "That was great, but I really only want to play with you in the future." Is it okay to still continue just playing with them? Do you say anything or do you tell them, "No, I'm not interested"? What do you do? Hot topic.
Starts off nice and light.
Bye.
Maybe you haven't seen that stuff.
What? Well, that might not say it about me, but nevertheless, even if you're just saying that about my boyfriend, I'll chase you with a sandal.
A chancla. A chancla.
It's from Dr. Scholl's. It's $70. It'll still leave a mark.
It's just the insole.
the memory foam part of it. So it doesn't leave a bruise.
It doesn't forget.
We don't have soul for this business.
What do you think, Adam? What are your thoughts on that?
Again, if we had a three-way and then just someone to play with you, you can't be everyone's type. I totally understand that, but that would be a little weird after this point of after having a three-way with your partner. I think it would be a little weird, and I would say probably no to that.
But we've all had those threesomes that on paper it sounds hot and you have a few drinks and you're like, yeah, it's gonna be so hot, and then you get in the bedroom and you're like, they are terrible, or like they don't know what to do, or they freeze up. I mean, has there ever been a fully successful? Well, we see your threesomes and foursomes and moresomes on Just for Fans. When I did research for this, I was like, I'm gonna need to buy stock in Kleenex. Yeah, callus.
He researches everything.
No,
we use
calls you
towels
complaining.
we're
I just don't know
environmentally
enough.
friendly.
Yes, I did notice that.
They're in the nightstand.
They're stiff as a board.
You can crack them.
So, but let's talk a little bit about dating in the adult world. Adam, I've known some of your exes. I've known you for years, and I know in your own personal story you guys dated, and now you're friends who film amazing content, which is so much easier. But tell me what dating is like as an adult film content producer, as just yourself, and then what are some of the things to kind of look out for when you're dating somebody else that's in the adult film world from your own personal experience?
Insecurity is not an option.
Yeah, you can't be insecure, but
It's not an option at all. If you are insecure about anything, it just ends up being a platform for, I don't want you hanging out with this person, and do you have to film at this point in time, and do you have to do this, and
But don't we all have insecurities? And then knowing that like somebody you're dating is objectified for hot scenes and gets to sleep with the hottest guys.
I mean, it's fine to voice your insecurities and communicate your insecurities. But if you're controlling someone else's behavior because of your insecurities, then you're overstepping your bounds.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that if you're dating someone, they're probably going to be hot, pretty much to your caliber. So that's another thing. I'm like, I don't get that, but I can understand maybe a slight jealousy. Like I've seen some porn couples where they're monogamous. One's in porn, one's not in porn, but they're monogamous. But the other one gets to play. Well,
I've heard that many times.
I
don't think that's right. I don't think that's right for the other person. So you get to play with, taste the other cookies, but I got to taste only your cookie.
And I love a cookie. Obviously, I love a good cookie. So, but let's talk, looking at both of your content, your individual content and the content that you've been doing together. So hot. Fitness is a big part of your life. And so the people you invite into the bedrooms, because we're all looking at it, we want to put our best foot forward. You guys interact with hot guy after hot guy after hot guy. Does it ever get a little boring, or like does a hot body even do it enough for you?
Just all these hot men throwing themselves in your face,
the truth,
you bored.
It's really the intellectual. It's all about the intellectual for me. No,
you are very intellectual.
When for this,
it's all about the cock size with you. You go on Grindr and look, he was 12 inches. Don't look at the.
Cutler X, when I first met you back in the day, talking about that, it was him and Armand. That's how I met all three of them.
It's
like 10 years ago.
I love a big brain.
Sure.
This is going to become a therapy session. You realize what we just did, right?
But here's the thing, if there's I'm going to relate it to me in the bear world. When you have
Glamour bear.
Glamour bear,
right?
Like when there's a good a piece of chocolate, and you're like, oh my god, it tastes. I love chocolate cake, and you have the best piece of chocolate cake from the Cheesecake Factory, 3 tiers, it's 780 calories per bite.
What is he talking?
Is that cake here?
I'm so hungry right now.
But if I had that at every meal, it wouldn't be the best chocolate cake. It would just be like
it would be done after a while.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is just because there is a wide variety of guys that we do shoot with, and there's always that obviously someone that you're into, say like a partner or something that you always want to be with and that arouses you. So it's kind of the same thing. Now, I mean, shooting for porn is going to be very different than a relationship. It's vastly different.
Well, yeah.
Obviously. So for the porn, it's like about the look or the dick size or the ass or whatever it is that you find attractive about this particular person.
We're not putting electrodes on our nipples every single night and hanging from the ceiling.
It's like boring. Your neighbor's lights go out.
Again.
He's dating Wednesday in Pugsley. But to just jump in, so you've both dated people that are both in the industry, and you've dated people who are not in the industry, right? Is it the same, different? Do you find the same insecurities there, the same conversations need to be there? Do you think it's easier being with someone in the industry? It's kind of a loaded question, but
well, I mean,
I've dated both myself.
I got into porn at 32, so
right.
I mean, before 32, there were people that I was dating, and it's.
But you weren't in porn, and they weren't in porn. Is what I'm saying. Is is there a difference in how people who are not in the industry and you're dating? Obviously,
relationships can still be difficult no matter what.
Right, that's a loaded question. But do you find it?
Hello, we're gay men.
Do you date someone in the porn industry and say, "I'm never doing that again," or vice versa?
It would have blown their little minds. All these people in St. Louis, they'd just be like, "What? You're gonna fuck out everyone you want? I don't."
I thought that arc was big.
Right. Like I said, it all just boils down to their personality and things like that. If they've just got a bunch of hang-ups, then it just pops up as a red flag, like right away.
I think the problem is that when I was dating other people that were not in porn, the older guys, meaning my age or slightly younger.
28.
No, because people are. I'm like, now I'm getting to the point where I'm age where everyone's younger. Everyone.
You were me, right? I actually have.
I like bringing him around.
I actually have a
so
story
young.
about that because when I actually started dating my ex, he came up to St. Louis. He flew up from Fort Lauderdale from St. Louis, and he was taking escorting clients. So he had to go out to the. And I had never dated an escort or anyone else.
Yeah.
So I was actually just now getting into the industry, and I did all the webcam work.
Yeah.
So he goes out to take a client. I'm like, should I be like angry? To go take because he's taking this. So I decided that I was going to open a RentMan account instead of like talk to him about it. So I did it, and then I went to go take a client, and I was like, "This is horrible! I swear to God, I think I actually found a sandwich stuck in like between one of his folds, and I was just like, this is work.
Hey, big girls need love too.
Work.
Hey,
I mean, I found his
how
lunch
dare you?
today, and then we
It's
ate
okay,
it, and
it's
it was
okay. Here,
fine.
here.
But
Alex.
the escorting
That was a delicious sandwich.
Our apology to the bear
Was.
community. Okay, but so into fitness. Let's say you are.
I didn't have a problem with him being. He's just clean.
Yes, cleanliness is next
Yeah.
too.
That has to be an awkward moment in the escorting world. Is like going to meet your client and
They have a
you
sandwich
have to
between their
be
ass.
you have to be like the yes person because they're paying
Is
for
it
your
fresh?
time and you have to be smiling. You have to be.
I have
on
a
the
dairy
behavior.
allergy. Sorry.
It's work. It is definitely work.
Because I mean,
Without
if it
a
was a
doubt.
fresh scoop of ice cream and he put it in there, it was all clean, I could have an ice cream sandwich. It's
Oh, but
fancy.
down. He's here all weekend.
Now, have you ever said no to a client? Be like, you know what? I'm just not gonna do it.
There were times I should have.
There's a couple times I did, and it wasn't because of their particular look. It was because their attitude or something else that was
yeah.
off, and that was the reason, not because of what they looked like. Because
There's-
I've done everything.
but
There's
There's that awkwardness though when it's the cash for sex thing, and some of them think that they can walk in the room and they can get away with just
Right,
whatever
yeah,
the
I'm
fuck
sure.
they want.
Yeah.
And it can become a bit of a dangerous situation depending on how hostile they get. Like I paid you, it's like you paid
Yeah.
me to what? Like you can't do what you don't want, what I don't want you to do.
Exactly.
Still,
And
you
I think
know?
that's a problem that I think a lot of like younger, maybe younger escorts or whatnot, they get into it and they fall the wrong way. I mean, I've seen it a million times, and it's like the most heartbreaking thing to see because you could actually see them transform within a month. Because they allow the client to do everything, and before you know it, they've got a lot of issues.
Mhm.
well, it's also the drugs involved. too,
exactly.
because
That's what I was getting at without
the
saying.
drugs. Yeah,
Right.
The
You were
client
you
wants
were
the
going
better
there.
person to do
That's
the
what I'm
drugs.
trying. Yeah. And they don't know how to say no, and before you know it, here's this beautiful guy, and now he's,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
It's not
and we all look at him like he's a problem. But he's not a problem. He's trying to make money. He doesn't have guide. He doesn't have. There's not a
Right.
book you read, and
Right.
or is there? Is there a book you read?
No, not
I think
yet,
Christopher
not that I
Daniels
know
came
of.
out with a book years ago on that, but
Well, and
not
it-
sure.
it-
if
We're gonna
True, he
we're
did.
gonna, we're gonna
Well.
release it on Christmas. We call that a ho ho
It's-
ho.
you can find it in an audiobook where Jack Andy yells at you.
That's how we're gonna patent it too.
Motivational, right?
I'm not that mean.
But we've seen people come in the industry and be very successful and own the industry, and then we've seen where it's been the reverse and it's flipped and the industry's owned them. And Adam, you've been in the industry for such a long time. How has the industry changed the most from your point of view?
VHS to digital.
Yeah, right.
And digital
To
streaming.
Laserdisc.
When I was like in porn, but it's been.
Well,
it's been
then they
12
brought the
years.
talkies.
I know. It feels like that because like the industry changes so quickly, but it is really about the having the performers now take control of their content and what they want. I mean, studios are still here, obviously, so now it's just basically of sharing that. And now if you have the gumption, the dick, whatever it is that you're showing to your fans, you can make a name for yourself, and so you do have more control in that aspect. The thing is, though, you have to also be business minded now too, because you are your
You're your own
You're
brand.
your brand.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, just for fans, and it's created like the owner Jack Dominic.
Oh.
Dominic, has once said, and when he won an award, he's like, "We just build it. We're a shelf, and it's just the models stock it, and that's what it is. All we're doing is a platform to allow an uncensored platform to allow you to go out and do it, but do it smart, and, do it savvy, and that you're get an LLC or whatever you need to do to protect yourself, but you are now in full control of your brand.
I was actually at the dinner table at Valentine's Day with Dominic the day he went live.
Oh, really?
We had a conversation about it. It was just shortly after I filmed for his studio, and he was like, I could do this. And I said, and why aren't you?
Yeah.
Why? So and it was so funny because my ex was actually on a cruise, and then his ex, I forgot where he was. So we both actually had Valentine's Day together.
Aw.
So that's what we did.
It's one big happy
now you're an
family.
exclusive.
And then he went live with Just for Fans, and here we are.
Adam, let's talk about daddy porn.
Yes.
10 years in the industry.
I know
and
nothing about it.
What?
Stop labeling me.
Now, so
He's not my kid, I promise.
daddy porn used to be such like a niche market. Now I see men of all ages kind of being in the mainstream, kind of where it's not even like daddy does stepson. Now it's like hot guys fuck by the pool, where it's more like that. Do you think ageism is less of an issue? Do you think daddy niche porn is kind of just being saturated into mainstream porn?
I think it is being saturated into mainline. So is ageism a problem as much as no? I mean, especially in the gay community, it's like it's a good time to be a daddy.
Yeah.
It really is.
Do you know how many times I've been called daddy or papa?
But do you see,
And I'm like, okay.
is it too generalized?
God, I
though,
started
now?
making enough money to be one recently.
You literally just have to be.
Exactly. It's my
It's
FICO.
expensive. You have to buy the drinks.
But there are. I saw one of the
True.
one of the award shows a couple years ago. I won't name it. But the winner of it was I would say he's mid 20s, late 20s. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. But is it becoming so generalized where I literally know people who are not daddies being called daddy. And
It's like
is
you-
it
you
he's got a
turn
beard?
26
Look,
and
he
you're like,
has a
"You are a daddy."
beard. He's a daddy.
You can't
And
be
it's
a
like,
daddy with a credit score lower than with 600. Sweetheart. Get on this.
600, 700. Bump that up.
Bye.
I gotta buy a house.
Because
But do you find that, though?
if you're saying you're daddy, but I'm picking up the drink tab, you need to leave.
Like, is it generalized? Is it generalized? And is that even a problem? Do you find that a problem, or do you think, who cares? It is what it is.
For the sex industry, no, I mean, it is what it is. It's just like, there are so many groups and sections and everything else that would kind of actually is good that they are allowing so many different kinds of people, and everyone's having their own platform, and I think that's friggin' fantastic.
Yeah.
To actually, I mean, I see obese porn as well. I mean, guys that are not even bears at this point, they're beyond bears, I think. I don't, if there's another name
They're
for that.
Mama June.
But it's like, and then you
Mama
have everything
June.
else.
What do we call that? What should we name that?
I
Gilbert
don't
Grape.
know. We'll talk about that later.
Once eating Gilbert
We went
Grape.
from Blair. We
Remember?
went to Glamour Bear. Is that an XS bear?
How dare you, sir?
It's a
Is it
Cheesecake
Glamour
Factory,
Bear or
man.
Glitter
Glitter
Bear?
Bear.
Glitter Bear.
It's glitter bear.
Because you always
Glitter
seem to have a
Bear.
little glitter on you.
That's from last night. I'm like,
Those are sprinkles.
corn. I didn't eat any corn. But Jack, I want to talk to you. It seems to me, because I've been following you from your career when you did the studio work. Have you become somewhat dadified by the industry? Because if I'm not mistaken, when you first entered, it was like a smoother, leaner, more like not Twinkie look, but
Jock.
you've become more jock, and I've seen you become more like. Have you been dadified?
What I find funny about all of that is by the time I had got into the industry, I was working at a St. Louis bread company. I was about 190 pounds.
I love bread.
Yeah,
God, I
I
love
did
bread.
too. So
You did have this kind of. Where you
I
gained a lot of weight.
actually but I actually lost the weight all the way down to 147 pounds. I
Jeez.
dropped all of that within like the frame of time of like 8 months, like running on the stairs for like an hour a day. So like when you saw me get into this by the time I'd got my body, my confidence back and everything like that, and was ready to go into the swing of things. But it was probably running myself to the point where I was a little, maybe you should get off the stairs a little bit, sit down. You're starting to become that guy at the gym.
Well, and you share this on your website, J Andy Fitness, where you talk about how you kind of had like a breakdown where you kind of ballooned up, you had a breakup, and you kind of use fitness though to kind of get back on track. Where now it's a big part of your life.
Yeah.
How is fitness now incorporated, like with COVID? How do you think like the world of fitness training, going to the gym, how do you think that's all going to happen after, like, post-COVID?
It's probably going to happen close to like what I have right. Like my living room is a gym. Like I have a leg press and the people are literally coming to my house and it's one-on-one. And like the more that I interact with people, I find it just weird how they just don't know how to compose a workout for themselves. Like they're not taught that. So they always go to them and like, I don't know what to do with any of this stuff, and no one really actually has been around to help them or even guide them into what they would need to do for a workout. I mean, I can give people 4 minutes of jumping jacks and they're like, I'm getting a little sick. And I'm like, should I regress it? But it's,
open this can of pickles.
But I mean, like it's been really the majority of my, like, whenever I have somebody like clients and things like that I've seen for 3 months and they've dropped 20 pounds, and I was starting to get messages on like Thanksgiving Day and they were like, "You're changing my life."
Yeah, that's rewarding. Huh?
Like that. I got that message and I was just like, "Oh my God, like, am I?" Like I had that, and I've had boys gain 17 pounds of muscle, within a frame of time of 3 months, and the only thing I've done is correct their diet. And
then you shot him on JustForFans.
Now
that you're there, sign this.
That's gonna be Tuesday.
See that? There's a camera in the corner there. Welcome.
No, but hey,
has that ever happened? You ever have a client in your living room leg press and it
I've
turned
seen
into
those
something?
Scenes. Those scenes.
I know that sounds so cliche porn, but
I love those.
I think Adam knows the answer.
It actually happened to the guy that I'm actually currently dating.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't want to say anything.
The gym is your living room, girl.
Does he still have to pay you, like, as his fitness trainer? You're like, you didn't pay for your session, bitch.
He is still paying, actually.
Sugar baby.
Jack, when did you first get the idea that you were a little bit bigger than the other boys?
That was when I started stripping at 18.
We talking about cock?
Cock and balls.
Yeah, that's when I started stripping at 18.
Really?
Yeah. So it was.
This was in
Boxers and Briefs in St. Louis, Centerville. Okay, so and it's run by this kindly Wiccan woman, and her husband wife looks like John Goodman. So she's sitting there and
I like the story.
Yeah, well, right. So and anyway, so she's sitting there and she's got this, John Goodman, like she was the bouncer, and she's got a Virginia Slim hanging out of her mouth.
This is like an HBO series,
right?
Is this on the hill?
And she's in she's got fiery red head. She's in a leather jacket. So she puts me on the stage, and then obviously I was supposed to dance for 2 songs, be naked by the second one, and so they go back there, and she's like, "So what do we call him?" And of course, John Goodman is in that, and she's like, "I think we'll call him Ghost." And she goes, "That doesn't sound expensive enough. We're gonna call him Platinum."
Oh my!
She doesn't sound like that.
You're really glamorizing it.
It's what happened. That's where I got my start at 18.
The 80s were rough.
So anyway, there was this dancer. God love him. His name was Gemini then. Now it's Taylor DeMornay. So
it sounds richer that way.
She's a drag queen with the 9-inch dick, and she could wrap it around the pole like twice. So anyway, she's like, you just sit on the stage and you jerk off. You just wait till you catch somebody. So I did, and I got hard, and she just goes, "Ooh."
You didn't have any idea before that it was a little bit bigger than.
I had no clue. I had no clue whatsoever.
Yeah.
None.
Me neither. Yeah.
None. I literally.
I'm huge.
I was seeing one guy by the age of 17, and of course, like, my hair was like down to here, and I had glasses. I was the nerdy kid in school. It's just
nerdy kids always have the biggest
They
dicks. I just want
do.
everybody to know they have the biggest dicks.
That's because they play with them the most whenever they're at home.
Yeah. Was the transition from webcamming to studio film, was that hard for you? What were some of the biggest things you had to learn right off the bat? You're like, oh, that's different.
Well, I mean, here was the thing: is I got a few studio shoots at first, and then all of a sudden, like, the studio shoots dropped off because. Some of the studios are just like, we've used him once, and then they'll wait like 6 months to a year to use you again. So I started talking to my agent, and I was like, well, what do I do in the meantime, to make this lapse in income?
Yeah.
I kind of thought the studio scenes would be a majority of my income, which is basically the common misconception.
Right.
So they were like, you get on webcam. So I got on webcam, and I literally climbed like this chain all the way up to where I was like the top model up in September, like won a trip to Costa Rica, the whole 9 yards.
Wow.
I cleared 5 figures that month.
What?
Yeah.
Let's buy a webcam.
That you could.
What could I do?
Do you
Recipes.
Do you use the live?
Your stage name's gonna be Glitter Bear.
Do you use
fantastic
with 4 T's?
Oh, there
what's
we
that
go.
noise?
That noise. It's time for our
It's
Just for
probably
Fans
copywritten.
sex trivia. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Are you ready to play a little sex trivia?
No, sure.
Okay,
Sure.
so if you get the answer wrong, you have to strip. It could be any article of clothing, but it's gotta come off. Okay?
Your headset doesn't count.
Yeah. Damn. It used to, but no, not anymore.
And then they couldn't hear us.
Jack's like,
That's true.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you both the same question, and you're just gonna give me the answer. And if you get it wrong, you just gotta strip a little bit. Okay, true or false? Body hair can be linked to intelligence. True or false?
I'm gonna go with true.
Body hair linked to intelligence.
You're asking a bald dude.
Well,
Has
I think
enough
they
hair
mean,
on the rest of his
body
body.
hair.
All of his IQ,
hello.
right?
Who happens to be very hairy.
I'm gonna say true too. Why not?
Okay, it is true.
Really?
Studies have shown that higher IQs tend to have more body hair.
I'm stupid.
You
Well, I
shaved
could've
it all.
told you
You
that.
shaved it all off. You flushed your IQ
It's
right
all
down.
like
right to
sporadic.
it.
What's sporadic
God
hair
damn
growth?
it.
Sick.
Ill.
Patchy. We'll call you Patchy. Okay, body hair has a shorter or longer lifespan than the hair on your head.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with longer.
Interesting. No, I'm kind of curious now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with longer.
Yeah, longer.
You both are wrong.
Ooh, they get to. Here we go.
Shorter.
Body hair has a very short lifespan compared to the hair on your head.
Why all the
Really?
pubes end
Yes,
up on the
that
toilet.
is true.
That is weird. I would.
Well,
I
I
would
was-
think that it's harder.
Yeah,
I
because
was
maybe all
going
the
by
friction going by.
Maybe by the what do you call it? The eyebrow hair, because that seems to like doesn't
Just
grow back
keep
very
getting
quickly.
I think that's like in a different category, though. That's
So
like
that
in a
was-
later
oh,
category.
that was-
With my
Dun,
shirt.
dun, dun, dun. Oh,
Well, he's
oh,
going right for the
yeah.
shirt.
Yeah.
See, I would have went for the
There we go.
jewelry, but he's going right for the
I
I want to
shirt.
go with the.
I gotta take this off, though.
I'm gonna take this thing off.
There you go. So next time we need a little sauce on.
Yeah.
I
I
guess
know.
so.
Oh yeah. Can we just hear
There
like
we
that
go.
stuff? Like fuck
I
yeah.
told you, I just I don't,
Spit on
at
it.
home. I'm barely dressed.
I mean,
ever.
if it's gonna make.
I know.
Our ratings just went up.
Listen.
So do you guys trim like anything? Like do you trim like the shoulders? Do you do like weekly manscaping or like what's happening? Or are you just like anything goes? I'm Rapunzel.
I mean, it's so funny. I'm such a Virgo. I have my
I'm a
razor.
Virgo, too.
I have my razor set to settings, and it's like when it gets too long.
Mm.
I know it's a 4, and I know it's an 8. So
Oh, that's good.
I have
Done.
I have labels on mine too for my guards.
right. Like
But I don't do it very often.
I
anymore.
have 2 phases. I have jungle, 4, and 8, and then that's it.
Now, do you guys look at your own scenes? Like, besides editing, do you ever look at it from like a standpoint, like, oh,
I'm
I
hot.
need to work that out, or I need to shave that, or
Never.
No?
I do not watch myself fuck.
I don't care anymore. It's like this point because I have a hairy ass. Okay, I have a hairy ass. That's it.
Well, and
Like,
your fans love
whatever.
it, so you know that.
Paying the bills.
Okay, next question. Stress can make your dick shrink or get harder.
wait. Sex can either make you.
Stress.
Oh,
Stress.
stress.
Yes.
I was
Stress
like,
can make your dick shrink.
Mental stress can make your dick shrink or get harder. Which one?
I know the
Shrink,
answer
I
to
would think.
this.
Stress, right? We're talking
Yeah,
about stress. I think we make your dick shrink.
Shrink. I've never been
Yeah,
stressed
I was in
out.
basic
And
training.
with a
I
hard
know the
dick.
answer to
With a
this.
hard dick.
What?
I'm stressed right now.
I have an innie. I'm kidding. What's the
Half
answer?
the stuff you could say could be like a ringtone. I have an idiot. Oh, it's Anthony calling. A stress can make a man's penis shrink. Okay, average number of sex partners for men. Now, this is all men, straight and gay
Oh,
men.
straight and gay.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Is it 7, 4, 9, or 11? Average number of sex partners for men.
In a
Or-
lifetime?
In a lifetime?
Yeah.
9.
7, 4, 9, 11.
Well, we're talking about all
I
people
might,
here.
I
It
might
reminds
change
you
it.
of, like,
I
an
might
STD
change it to
check.
say, keep in mind you're getting trumped by the Midwest here.
I know. I have to think about that.
It's
I'm
like-
going to say
it's
4 or
like-
7.
It's like either I think it's 7.
I'm thinking 7.
You both are correct. It's 7. God
Yeah.
damn it.
It's like when you go get an STD check and they're like, how many men have you slept with in the last month? I'm like,
And,
80? Is
Mine-
that a lot?
and you start sweating
I
unless they're cute and
literally-
you're like, every day.
I'm literally Samantha Jones on that question. She's
Yeah.
like,
Hey, I'm honest. They want the answers. I'm
This
like,
month,
I've done
Carry
this and
the
this and this.
4.
Exactly.
Okay, how many nerve endings does the head of a penis have? 40,000, 8,000, 4,000, or 300?
Does it matter if
40,000.
it's cut?
40,000.
No, because your nerve endings are there. It's whether you feel it or not. That's
Oh.
yeah. 40,000, 8,000, 4,000, or 300.
I'm going to say 40,000.
Awkward.
I know
numbers.
that's a lot,
Those
but
are like
it
so
could be 3,
random.
but I'm
in
gonna
the
say
number.
with
40.
8,000.
The answer is 4,000. You both are wrong.
Oh, damn.
He likes throwing them in there that he knows that
You
there's
need-
no way you know it.
No, I mean everybody.
Let me
knows
see
it's
your
4
feet.
4,000.
So it was just really a matter of the 0 was misplaced.
All right, gentlemen.
Is that what you were saying?
Time-
yeah.
Ooh, we got a shoe.
Wait,
We got
I have
one
to take
shoe.
Mine off. Mine are tied.
Why is my mom texting me?
Mine slide
heard
right.
Mom,
Mom,
what
I'm
you
working.
All right, so shoes are
Mine
off.
slide
True
right
or
on.
false? The clitoris will stop growing after menopause. True or false?
I can't think of
That's a good
What?
question because
I'm too gay to ask
Who
that
knows
question.
something about a clitoris?
We all need to be sex
First thing
informed
we all
about this.
tasted coming in the world.
Well, your
Okay.
your penis, your extremity is supposed to continue growing. So I'm going to say if it's the same for men, for women, then I'm going to say they're going to continue to grow.
Yeah, haven't you ever heard of Joan Rivers skit?
So
Sure, I'll go with that.
True. Or no, false. The clitoris never stops growing.
Oh,
that's what I'm, yeah.
Like-
okay, so
yeah,
we
yeah,
did
yeah.
get it right.
Okay.
it's like fingernails.
Damn. Okay. How old is the oldest dildo ever found? 80 years, 500 years, 23,000 years, 28,000 years. Oldest dildo ever found.
Oldest.
Okay, so
It was
there-
found
It's
in
called the
Anthony's.
General Grant.
well, there's been
It was found in Anthony's nightstand.
There's been Egyptian dildo, so that would have been about 5,000. What were the other dates then?
80 years, 500 years, 23,000 years, or 28,000 years.
23,000 years.
23,028. That's going to be the difficult one. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with 23,000.
Yeah,
No,
20
you want to know what? I'm gonna go with 28,000. We were perverts then.
Yeah, true. 28,000.
Living on the
Yeah.
edge.
That is
Yeah.
correct. It's 28,000 years.
28,000
Jeez.
This is we were perverts whenever we started.
Oh my lord! All right, well that was our sex trivia. We got shirts off and shoes. No shirts, no shoes, no service.
Turn down the air.
Okay, so Adam, another fun aspect of your life that you do, and you do this on YouTube.
Mhm.
You do live tarot card readings, which I think is fascinating.
Mhm.
How did you get involved? How did you become educated about tarot cards?
Well, I was going through a dark night of the soul with one of my breakups, and I had a reader that I was get maybe a tarot reading every twice a year, and he basically helped me through it. He was my therapist, and I would say about 97% of what he said came true. And I'd already been getting readings before then, but it was kind of amazing. Things I was like, he was like, "Oh no, this is gonna happen." I'm like, "No, it's not gonna happen."
Yep.
And it did. I was like, "Oh fuck, okay." And I was also listening to other readers at the time. And the whole thing about tarot is to keep your vibrations high and sort of basically healing yourself and looking within. So they helped me, and so I sort of got into it from there. Started listening to the other readers, and then I was basically told, in a very spiritual way, to start reading as well. So I bought my first deck and I kind of hung it there on the table for a while. Slowly but surely I started using it, and then I got another confirmation that I should start doing a channel to give back to the community, and that's what I did.
Now,
So,
can you do tarot on yourself?
yes,
You can.
I do.
But
the
how
only
do you
thing
keep
is
like an objective eye?
you have to be very objective, and when I do read it, if there's something I'm not sure about, I will contact my guy to read, or else, and I also have another friend who also reads. So I'm like, "Hey, I'm getting this. What is your, what's your read on this?"
It would have been so cool if he had his tarot cards on him.
It would be cool. I don't know.
We don't bring him in here because we're a Christian studio,
No,
and
my
that is
God.
satanic.
So I just brought these things for nothing.
Oh, wait a minute! There they are.
But
I heard though recently that your first deck should be given to you. Is
That's
that just
no,
BS?
I bought it. I bought
right.
mine, and that's like, yeah, that's not that's.
I heard that too, actually.
There's
now.
there's so many myths, and so it's so like, oh, it's devil worship, and
regional,
it's like
like a
no, it
regional
has a
thing.
whole history.
Oh, they say everything that's not.
They're
there.
called Sicilians. They think everything is satanic.
Right.
Tupperware is from the devil. You should eat your leftovers right then and there.
Put that shrimp down.
I
Do
put
it
everything
now.
in tinfoil.
But I will have to second you. The first time I ever had my tarot cards read,
never
and it
had
was
them.
like, for fun, they said it was this woman. I still remember exactly what she looked like. And I was, I think, 21 at the time. It was for somebody whose 21st birthday. And it was the most outlandish predictions that were so ridiculous, almost like a Bold and Beautiful soap opera. Here's what's going to happen to you and your family. And I was like, no way. I was like, this is the biggest piece of shit ever. Within 6 months, everything that she had said had come true to the most fantastical. It was just the weirdest thing.
So
and
what
so I've
happened?
used her.
He got a pony.
Yeah.
No, so I've incorporated tarot into my life as a part of guidance, but I always make sure the person doesn't know me at all, because I figure that will cloud. Do you ever do tarot cards on people that you date, or do you not want to know that they're going to die in 2 weeks?
Not usually,
That's
but
my
I
biggest
do
fear.
do it for friends who are having problems or whatnot, because it is also for tarot. Again, it's also figuring out obstacles, things that may be blocking certain things, and having to work through it. Again, it is really a form of therapy. It's not an occult. It's not devil worship. It's not anyone trying to sell you on anything. It's none of that bullshit. It is just basically like raising your vibes, helping you try to work through things in your own personal life, and it's just take it as advice. Everybody thinks that what is said is going to happen. Well, everyone's got free will, including the people you're involved with. So all of those things could change.
Yeah.
So you have to keep that in mind. Those are the energies that I'd be reading at that moment that could happen. Those are what could be happening. But if you decide after this reading to change your view on something, well, then you can change the outcome on that.
What happens when you come across something that's just so awful? Do you tell them, or
You just flip the card.
yeah, you're like next?
It's hard. It's hard. I wish everybody could give a unicorn rainbow reading to everyone, but unfortunately, it's really about usually blockages. What's kind of in what a person has to work on, because this is what the universe's spirit, or whoever you want to call it, is trying to direct you to try to get rid of this blockage or to try to correct something in your life. And sometimes it's been hard. I've had addicts come to me and very, very difficult reads, and I'm empathic as well, so the energy of the cards is there too, so it's very I start taking on a lot of these energies, and it can also, even just reading the weeklies can be exhausting, because they can be draining. I literally almost slept in the car. I'm like, okay, I need to go lay down now. It's like,
well, I didn't know you were empathic, so those nasty thoughts, I'm so sorry. I will keep them to myself. Blah, blah. So can you break out your cards?
Yes.
Can you do is there such thing as a quick reading?
Well,
isn't there like a whole cleansing and everything first?
Question you're asking. So
oh gosh,
it really does.
Is there a difference in your cases? You have all these cool designs. That's a black swan, it looks like.
Yeah, this is well, that's actually one of my totems. So that and the dragon and the empress. So these were actually done by a woman in
They're
the
beautiful.
UK.
They're great, yeah. But
Can you show
same
them?
card, same.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty.
Yeah, they really are. She makes them completely from handmade.
Wow.
And so she was doing, like, for the swan and the spider were actually my idea. She actually, all of them, the dragon. So she does her own designs, but she had me. I was like, can you do these and these for me?
But the cards themselves are the same thing, no matter which pouch you get them from.
Yeah, the pouches are just, there are silk lined because of the energies. Silk is actually better to hold your cards in. I don't usually put when I'm traveling them, I do. So my card, because I use my cards all the time. So they're always out, and I use multiple decks when I'm doing my readings. So I brought 3, but this is going to be a very short reading. And each deck has a little slightly different energy and feel to it. So.
I've never had a reading, and my boyfriend loves the readings, and I've never done it. He always wants to do it. And I just I don't know why I get. Again, I was raised by a Sicilian, so it's like I get freaked out, and I don't know why. I'm always scared because they're like, "You're gonna die. Your asshole's gonna fall out." I don't and your mom knows that you did. I'm like, ah!
I don't get freaked out from a reading, but I just don't.
I don't know why. I get very
You
scared.
want to know what's funny about that? Like, I don't
Maybe
get
it's a vulnerability.
scared about a reading. I just want to be like, hey, let it happen.
I think it's a vulnerability.
The funny thing is, like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen anyway.
Yeah,
but it can also be used to inspire, like you said. If there is some negativity down the road, and maybe you're in a new relationship, and you kind of sense that, then you can kind of say, you know what, this is a clear indication I need to get out of it. Yeah. It's a way to improve yourself. And some people I know get tarot card readings because they want to hear all good. I'm going to be rich and famous in 6 months, and that's not what it's going to do.
I wish I could tell you that, but yeah. So it's the universe will. If it's sometimes I've had readings where. A client wants a couple different answers made, so we do a general, and usually it's in a relationship stuff, because usually the relationships are the things you have to work on, and usually they're involved yourself. So then they're like, oh, how about career? And I'm like, I start doing it, and the same reading comes up before. It's like the universe is like, nope, you need to work on this first before we can do that. Like, all this is because nothing is separate. Nothing's separate. Everything that you're going through also affects every other area of your life.
But it's funny, like if I was going to ask you a question, I would be like, am I on the right career path? I don't give a crap about anything relationship. I don't, it's just not an important part of my life right now. But you're saying that if life has a different idea for me, that the relationship stuff will come out?
Well, it depends. If you're also not following your path, like say you weren't supposed to be doing what you're doing and you're supposed to be doing something else, then it would be like, no, you need to be doing this. So that would be, it wouldn't say it would be like, no, you're not quite on the right path. And then we'd have to dig deeper, because the questions are very important. How you phrase the questions, what you ask, to get a much more solid answer.
Can we do a quick one, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, so
something real simple question.
Ask a question real fast.
Let me ask: am I on the right career path, or am I doing the right things towards my career?
Here we are,
such as my co-host.
Is he doing the right things for his career?
Are you nervous?
Yes and no. It's actually been about 2 years since I've had.
Now, do you
tarot.
feel pretty confident about your career path?
Oh yeah, I think so. But sometimes you just need...
I feel like that gets reflected in the cards.
Okay. I'd be like, no, you need to become a drag queen. You need to go strip at
Again?
Boxers and Briefs.
We've all seen your
Maybe you
Holly
should just
cheerleader.
be in drag on the show.
Yeah, well, drag for filth.
It's
Not
funny.
looking good.
I mean, you got a lot of major arcana in the reverse: the Moon, the Justice, the Hermit, and the Judgment card all in reverse.
Is that good or bad?
Well, it's interesting because you
Just
said,
be honest.
Are we on the right career path?
It's very vague. No?
Yeah, I'd have to go into this a bit more because these are major arcana. If you know anything about it, are like the major influences of the tarot in your life. So this is when I see these energies. There's a lot of universal energy, spirit energy, directing and guiding you or trying to thing. These are like major like stuff out here, and they're unfortunately all in reverse. I'd want to dig deeper because there's another thing going on here. There is about something, the Hermit in reverse is about not wanting to go down a certain path again. It can also be loneliness as well, or feeling very alone in a situation. The Justice card is someone, or you feeling someone or you is not taking responsibility for actions, not feeling, maybe feeling that there's a sense of bad karma going on. And the Moon card, again, is about releasing secrets, about releasing motions, things like that. So, and the Judgment is maybe not working up to a calling. So there's a lot going on here.
Jesus Christ.
Girl, what'd you do?
And this will be our last episode of The Naked Truth. Sorry to see Alexander go.
The thing is,
Naked Hermit.
this may have to do not with your career, but it's obviously whatever you may be going through may be influencing your career.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you have to change your particular what you're doing now. It may be something that is in the background that is affecting the way you do your career and everything else. So don't get upset. I'm like, I got to become a construction worker or something. No.
When you
Can
do
you
these,
imagine?
you do these
I
on YouTube.
paint
Or
the
is
hand-
this
spray
a
paint the
free
hammer
service
paint.
that you do,
Yeah,
or is this
the
something?
ones on YouTube are free. It is I do weekly readings, and it's as my other name, Adam Keith. You just look YouTube up and just Adam Keith is right in there. I'll come up.
Subscribe.
And but then I do private readings, and then people just email me, and I do private readings.
And for that, it's a
now
kind
you gotta,
of a paid
now you
thing.
gotta go, now you gotta go to his
that's
house.
a fee.
Yeah.
That's a fee.
Yeah, he's got like 10.
Now we're going to have to sit and chat.
He's
Yeah.
got like
I
he's
also
got like
do
10
Zoom.
decks. He'll
I
clarify
do Zoom
everything.
and Facebook readings too for people. So if
Wow,
I've
that's
been doing
really
readings
cool.
from people in Canada, across the U.S., in Europe. So I've been also working with other readers, mystics, and whatnot too. So it's kind of
Wow.
interesting that I'm reading for the part of the community.
Very cool.
So yeah.
I didn't know this about him. Now I know something.
So that's it. We'll get this a little bit later for you.
On that note. Wow. Okay. So we're going to wrap up the show in just a bit, but we're going to play a little rapid fire. So you have 30 seconds
I will
to
be timing.
answer as many questions as you can. They're going to be different questions. Who wants to go first?
Let it rip.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going first. Okay.
And
Craziest thing a director has told you to do on set?
Eat to the left.
Who was the first porn star you would cast if you were starting your own studio?
I'd have to go with Cade Maddox. He's so hot.
If you were to produce a porn film, what would the title be?
Oh, Harry Holes.
What would the name of your biography be?
Harry Holes
Part 2.
Raised by John Goodman.
That's awesome.
Least favorite. Was that it?
You can ask this.
Oh, okay.
Ask this.
Least favorite body part on yourself.
On myself?
Yeah.
My butt.
Oh, poor bud.
Least favorite exercise to do at the gym.
What are you doing? We're done.
Burpees.
Burpees?
We're done.
Oh, we're
Okay.
done.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dave.
30 seconds.
Yes,
I'm
Daddy.
playing by your rules, damn it. Okay.
All right, Adam, are you ready?
How many did you get?
Okay, sure. Go ahead. I hate these things, but go ahead.
Okay.
7.
Ready?
Which is not bad. Okay,
7.
ready?
Ready? And burp.
Have you ever ghosted anyone?
Yes, but yes, I have.
Have you ever cheated on somebody you're dating?
Lord,
that I'm dating?
Yes or no?
No.
Have you ever hooked up with an Uber driver?
No.
If you were to sing at karaoke, what song would you sing?
We are the champions.
Favorite time of day to have sex?
Afternoon.
Have you ever hooked up at the gym?
Yes.
Foreplay or intercourse?
Foreplay.
Favorite superhero?
Black Panther.
No, the Arrow guy. I can't think of his name right now. Green Arrow.
Okay, all right. Hey, you guys were equal. You did one more question, but yeah. All right. Okay, we're gonna wrap up with.
They don't win anything. We just do this for fun.
It's fun.
We have a mask from JustForFans.
Yes, there you go. So chic. Okay, we're gonna answer some questions from our fans. Andrew from Instagram wants to know: I want to sleep with my best friend, and some drunken nights we've gotten close, but he never remembers the next day. Should I risk losing a friendship for a hot fling?
That bitch don't. Whatever.
What
I
is
don't.
it?
I don't remember. I just. Oh, what
We've
happened
all had those
last
kind of
night?
blackouts, but
Every time.
no, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your best
I mean,
friend
come
knows
on.
you're doing it.
Every time.
That is ridiculous.
Every time.
That's
no.
silly.
So maybe it's
Andrew, you're a liar. Come to it.
No, I think the person.
you Andrew?
No, please. I'll shake you awake. I'll be like, wake up.
I hate to break it to you, but not everybody forgets everything that happened every time.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it sounds like his friend is lying just because he doesn't want to.
Breach the subject,
joke.
maybe.
Yeah.
There
He wants
you
to keep it
go.
going. I think this is a hot thing that his
Yeah.
best friend likes.
You think so?
Yeah,
Might be
personally.
fantasy. He might be straight, or God only knows, but just doesn't really want to go down that path. Of like,
Yeah.
okay, now we got a date
Yeah.
or something else.
What did the cards say?
For poor Andrew, it's like,
Poor Andrew's getting red. All right,
Andrew?
let's go.
you have the poor hermit. Okay, this is anonymous from Twitter. I can't stand the taste of my boyfriend's cum, and now I can barely swallow even though he wants it. What can I do?
Changes.
Pop.
Yeah, it tastes
Does
diet.
that even...
Like, have him drink some
Pop-
pineapple
pop-
juice. That will
It
help.
does change it.
That's-
Absolutely.
It does.
That is
No, it
not a
does.
myth.
It does.
That
Pineapple
is
juice
not
and
a
then
myth.
pop 2 mints before you have it.
Hello,
Yeah.
I've taken them to Starbucks. I'm like, drink anything here. Just change it up.
Yeah, he needs to change it up. See what the hell he's drinking or eating that's causing the problem.
Right.
Usually, like lots of lack of water or stuff like that. You have to.
Yeah.
But
But he-
pineapple
Do
juice
what
does
Samantha-
work.
Do what Samantha
does
Jones
work.
did and spit it back.
Garlic
in his
does
mouth.
make
He
it
can
a
take it.
different
You'll be
flavor.
fine.
Okay,
Sure.
all right. So your answer is to spit it back. I like that. Okay, Sammy from email wants to know, I used to date women, and now I really just like watching straight porn. My boyfriend doesn't want me watching straight porn because he thinks I'm still somewhat straight. Should I dump my boyfriend?
Jesus.
Oh,
No,
come
just
on.
have a secret like the rest of us.
That's,
What? I'm sorry. What was
apparently the
question?
guy's
That sounds
insecure.
loaded.
His boyfriend's insecure. And I'm like, if you're into straight porn, then I guess I'd ask himself, what are you looking at?
Okay,
are you
so
looking
he's
at the
bi.
guys?
Okay, so he's bi.
He's bi.
Right.
I don't think it's necessarily
Well, so
either.
what
I
if
mean,
you're-
people
I love
sexuality
watching
is
straight porn, but I'm
sexuality.
not bi.
You could,
Yeah, but see, here's the problem with all this. Is like, again, with the insecurity, he's telling him to alter his behavior, you know, because of something that's bothering him. So if your boyfriend gets off to straight porn, then let him watch straight porn.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with what you guys are doing in the bedroom.
Right.
Okay, all right.
Are they home
Quit
movies? They could be home movies of his parents, though, or something weird.
What?
Yeah, I think this is deeper.
What the hell? You just took it to somewhere deep
Tell
and
him.
dark.
What do the cards
Tell
say?
him I
my
said
God.
Right. I don't know if I keep shuffling the cards.
The cards say gone fishing.
Gone fishing.
spirits are out to lunch. Sorry.
All right. Tell our audience, Jack, where they can find you and follow you.
On Twitter, it's Jack Andy XXX. On Instagram, it is Daddy Jack Andy. Or if you're looking for my personal training sites, it's J Andy Fitness LA on Twitter and Instagram.
And JustForFans?
Actually, my JustForFans is linked to jackandyxxx.com. You click on that, and it takes you right to
that
It
is
sure
beautiful.
does. I was like, "Blip."
See that? Branding.
I'm like,
right.
Control
We're in it
your
together.
brand.
JackandyXXX.com, baby. Links you right to my JustForFans.
Beautiful.
And
Or
I
you're
tell you,
exclusive.
it was like a marathon. I'm like, it was like the Jerry Lewis telethon. We kept going and going and going.
Were you that $28 subscription?
Girl, I was willing to pay 46. And Mr. Russo.
Okay, so Twitter at Adam Russo XXX, and then we also have JustForFans. You know, again, Adam Russo XXX, and then for my tarot and Instagram, this is for the Instagram. It is I am Adam Keith. So that's my Instagram, and that's where you can find my YouTube channel as well, linked to there for the tarot.
Beautiful.
Fabulous. All right, Mr. Anthony John. Any words of wisdom?
Always wipe from the front to the back. You don't ever want to. Someone learned that. You know, someone actually had to learn that. Anyway, so
nice.
like back in the medieval times, you're like, God, everyone's balls smell. What do we do about this?
Nice quilted oven mitts are the ones a seasoned hostess prefers to scream into.
This and other home tips from Jack Andy.
So you can find me, Mr. Anthony John, on Instagram, Twitter. I'm not really active anymore, and Facebook, and then of course JustFor.Fans. Or if you're interested in events or sponsorship, it's events at JustFor.Fans. That'll go to me.
And send us your questions, by the way. These are the
Yeah,
questions
send me
that we're
questions
answering.
too. I don't know where he got those. He made them all up.
No, we get through Instagram, Twitter, and email. Make sure you
Maybe.
like and subscribe to this podcast wherever you are listening or watching. Sign up for your free account at JustFor.Fans. Be a part of all this adult goodness for free. You can follow me on Instagram at AlexanderIsOnAir. And that is our show. Stay healthy and stay sexy. Yes.
That has been another episode of The Naked Truth, the official podcast for JustForFans. Sign up for your free account at JustFor.Fans and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at JustForFansite. You never know what's going to happen on The Naked Truth.